Hey everyone, it's Amy at Dragon's Foot Apothecary. Welcome to June. I'm really excited you're here to join me. And welcome to the full moon reading this Friday in June, the very first Friday in June. This full moon is known as the strawberry full moon, and it recognizes the time that things are coming into full fruit, right? So things are starting to ripen. We planted them months and months ago in our gardens, or we've started something new in our life and we're starting to see fruit from our labors. So that's kind of what this moon recognizes right now. So it was really interesting when I pulled the cards for this, how much this really relates to this full moon. It's just amazing. Every time, I know I say that every time. So if you're new, welcome. Thank you for joining me. Every Friday on YouTube, I do a oil oracle card reading. And we do a variety of oracle cards, but I align them to natural products and essential oils to give you that extra support in the reading that we get. And we talk about what the cards mean, and I tell you why I recommended the things that I do for those cards. And then on full moons, which this one just happened to fall on a Friday, we do a full reading, which is 5 cards. And again, we step through the reading together. And I use my oil oracle cards. These are cards that actually have oils already on them. In all of my readings where we do this, I only recommend doTERRA essential oils because a lot of the oils that we talk about, we ingest or we diffuse or we apply. And I would never recommend anything that I don't myself use. And I only use doTERRA. I think I've had really excellent results from them. I think they're a high quality company, and they're just really beautiful product. So if you have questions about that, you can reach out to me anytime. You can leave comments here, or you can go over to my website, dragonspitapothecary.com. My videos are also there, so you can catch them if you don't see them on YouTube. And you can connect with me. I have ways to book appointments with me, or I have online classes on a variety of natural health topics to lend you the support and resources you need to make sure you're making good choices for you and your family. So hit subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of these, because there's a lot of cool things that happen on this channel. Okay, so today, the full strawberry full moon, we got 5 cards we're going to talk about. The first is what we need to focus on, okay? And this is a good one. The first card that came up for our focus on in the full moon was wintergreen, okay? And this card deals with our instincts and knowing what is right for us, okay? But when we do that, oftentimes we can oh, I'm unique, no one else understands what I'm going through, and it can really create that independent warrior kind of feeling, right? Where no one can help me. I'm the only one that can figure this out, right? And sometimes that's not true. So wintergreen, of course, is a very strong oil, and it helps to eliminate pain in our body. Okay, so it's used in a lot of inflammation type products. But it's also, in our respect, it's about that fearless warrior type mentality, connected with that of a high priestess, where we're wise and we're strong and we're able to take on the things that come at us with a very full heart and mind for what is the right thing to do. And we become kind of a guide to others in helping them on their journey. So, but we're very self-sufficient, right? And that's seen as a strength. So, like I said, sometimes we can that can work to our disadvantage, though, and we forget that we too need help. Okay, and we're not in this alone. We may be very, very strong, and we may be very, very wise, but sometimes there are problems even the wisest and strongest person can't figure out. And the thing that comes to my mind, I hope you guys don't laugh at this, but even the Avengers, Thor, who is a very, very strong man, needed help from the other Avengers to overcome enemies, right? We are the same way. We can be super, super strong. There's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. but we have to let go of the control of things that can cause the frustration and stubbornness that prevent us from seeking help. So this card is telling us, focus on recognizing we are not alone in our journey. We can use our strength and wisdom to good, and we can get the help when we need it to continue building our strength and wisdom when we need it, right? It doesn't make us weak if we have to ask for help. So wintergreen is a wonderful oil. I actually like to use this on the wool dryer balls in my dryer. I put a couple wintergreen oil drops on it and toss it in with the laundry. It comes out really, really good smelling. So with wintergreen, your affirmation is, I do my best and hope for what I want, but I surrender to what is coming to my life for the highest good. Okay, and that's our focus for right now. Okay, the next one is what we need to release. And I went back and looked at some of the other readings we've had, and this card hasn't come up before. But I think it's perfect for release. So the card that came up was Hilliker CM. And again, we hadn't had this one before. But this is the card of reassurance and subtle energies. Okay? And what this is, Hilliker CM, if you don't know, is part of the daisy family. It's a flower. It grows in rocky, dry, very undesirable conditions, but it thrives in that setting. And it kind of has a scent on the leaves. Now, not the flower, not so much, but the actual leaves are what gives it its aroma. And it's used for flavoring of food and medicinal purposes and, things like that, right? That's typically where you find it. So when the flowers have been dry for a very long time, they become what's known as an everlasting flower. Okay, they're that strong. They don't fade away like other flowers would. And that's where we get the healing properties for our skin. Okay, a lot of natural products will have Hilliker CM in it for skin protection like that. So it's soothing, it's healing for things like sunburn, eczema, psoriasis, those type of things. There's skin-related items that are really itchy and sore and painful. And again, also inflammation and pain. That's where a lot of, ointments and stuff like that will have this in there. So Hilliker CM talks about our breakthrough of obstacles. Okay, and if you relate that to what I just told you about skin, you can start to realize where this card's going to lead. It helps to break through the obstacles. So if you have a patch of your skin that's super, super dry and irritated, Hilliker CM helps break through that to allow healing to start. Okay, and it does that on an emotional level too. So when you think about Hilliker CM, it's really good for the really hard trauma, pain, emotional pain, heartbreak, and helping us realize we can rise above and recover, the idea of hope, okay? And it's a gentle strength, and it's that, I don't want to say nudge, but it's a supportive oil in that sense. And it transforms our selves in body, mind, and spirit through that healing process. It kind of heals the scars, okay? And Hilliker CM is actually used in a lot of scar treatment. Providing that platform for rebirth, okay? And it's normal to be resistant to change even when we've been in pain and trauma. It's really hard to let go of that sometimes because we don't want to be hurt again. But Hilliker CM allows us to release those emotions tied to that, so we can be open to change, even if it's just a gentle, small change to get back into it, right? So this card is telling us that we need to first recognize our achievements and a lot of the hard work we've already done. And it's time for us now to have an easier ride and maybe even consider a new path. Get out of the vicious circle or cycle that we find ourselves in and continue putting our fingers in the light socket, if you will. And be reassured. The universe understands what we've been going through, but ask us to be courageous and determined and surrender. okay, because it will heal. So Hilliker CM, the affirmation for this card: I surrender to the pain. I believe I have learned the lessons it has presented to me. Okay, so that is our release. Release the pain. Put the trauma healing process on and start working through that. Okay. All right, so our next card in the full moon reading is what we need to draw energy from. And I, when I looked at these first two cards and they talk about, things like pain and release and, surrendering and realizing we're not alone, this next card, drawing energy from, is very logical to me. And it is the card of dill. Okay, and dill is the card of rapid development. And sometimes when we're hurting, we want rapid healing. So dill is, again, physically it deals with muscles and provides detoxification to our body. It's widely used in soap. Natural soaps sometimes have a lot of dill ingredients as part of them. And obviously dill is, a food element as well. So you either like dill or you don't. If dill doesn't speak to you, some other oils to consider would be fennel, which kind of has a little bit of a licorice taste, or caraway. Okay, a couple other options, because you're either going to like dill or you're not. Okay, again, I only use doTERRA. They don't actually currently have dill, so I use sweet fennel, and sweet fennel is good for like digestion, sugar craving management, and kind of giving you that metabolism support, right? And again, it's very detoxifying. So it has the same qualities as dill. So what this card is telling us is that the essence of rapid development follows us. As different people have different paces, going too fast or too slow can cause stress in distinct personalities. So when we feel like it is in our right, it's following our right pace, whether, that comfortable speed we like to work and think things through, that's where we find it's motivating and our ideas flow more easily forward, right? We can transfer them into good things that we want to have happen. It helps us overcome boredom and being stagnant. And it helps us thrive, right? And professionally, that's a good thing to have happen, to find that right balance and stride of your work and being able to thrive in that type of environment that supports that. And it helps us manage that, to work in our own style. So this card is telling us we either need to speed up or slow down, okay, but we're not walking in the pace that we need. And from doing that, we can draw energy from it to make sure that we have the right piece in our activities and they don't seem as strenuous to complete. Okay, and once you're releasing from pain, you have a better idea of what your pace needs to be. Maybe it needs to be slower because you're recovering. Maybe it needs to be faster because you have been inspired with something really creative, right? So this card lends the support to achieve those things, and we can draw energy from it during the full moon. Okay, this next one is what is emerging for us. And this is a good one. I love this one. It is rose. And it's very obvious. This is unconditional love. Rose, everything living has a vibrational frequency. Rose is the highest vibrational frequency there is. That's what makes it so powerful, both physically and emotionally for us. And it's regarded as the queen of flowers. Okay, very obvious, right? But it takes a whole bunch of rose petals to make essential oil rose. A whole bunch. That's what makes it so costly. But you don't want to mess around with the imitation rose oil, because of the power of this. It's very supportive. And you want the good stuff to invest in. doTERRA has the 5 ml pure rose oil. Wow. And they have in a little roller bottle. And it's pure. And it's worth It's worth it. It's very healing. So Rose, of course, deals with the heart chakra. So it's dealing with bringing us happiness, healing the brokenhearted, healing pain, and helping us recover that positive and productive pattern that we can achieve through this healing process and of letting love in. So it helps us know we shouldn't give up on love. Okay, and it could be romantic love, friendship love, professional love, anything, anywhere we have connections with other people. And maybe it's not under the label of love, but when you're connected to other people, there is an underlining vibration based on love. Okay, and an understanding that we can't play with the emotions of others. We can't impose that on others any more than we would want that imposed on us. So it's asking us to consider that in our actions with others. So, of course, this is the unconditional love card, and it's representing harmony and balance in our relationships, and that's what's emerging from us. And obviously, if you heal through pain, right, and we talked about the heart chakra of pain in the other cards, then, of course, what's going to emerge from you is new love, new relationships, new connections. And listening to your heart desire can allow that to transform for you. So the affirmation for this card, I encounter love in all my relationships, and I love these encounters. I give out love, and it is returned to me multiplied manyfold. Okay, so that's what's emerging. Isn't that great? Who doesn't want love to emerge for them? Ah, love it. Okay. So ironically, guess what comes next? This is the card from the universe. Boy, they all link together. Is Rosemary. So this card is a card of transition, and rosemary is the oil of transition. So it's transition based on knowledge. It's moving based on wisdom and knowledge. And it's looking at the root of a problem, not just the surface of it, and making an emotional choice. And it's using our cleverness, our wisdom, intuition, and instinct to know where to move. Okay, and you see she's on this chessboard. That's what that's representing. It helps with feelings of loss and confusion, especially when there's been too many suppressed emotions, hurt that we've put buried deep inside and now need to contend with. So those earlier cards we had around recognizing we're not alone, we don't need to wear that warrior armor all the time, we can surrender. That's what this is talking about. Okay, and this is where we have become tired of pushing against the current, and it's time to surrender some of this stuff and let the universe help us. So this is a very important oil when it comes to transitions in our life, and things are always transitioning. You're never not going through something. and it's realizing that it's a game, not a battle. Okay, and no one is trying to kill the queen, and that would be you. No one's trying to kill the queen, but it may take a little bit longer to get to where we need to go. Okay, we need to be strategic about what we're doing. We need to allow ourselves the grace to learn from blocks that we've stepped on that maybe weren't the right fit, and allow ourselves recovery. And this is asking us to evolve from those situations, learn from them, apply it, and figure out your next move strategically. Don't resist change due to your past experience. Okay, your energy needs to move and flow. Just like a river, be able to be clean, fresh, and support everything around it. As you transition, you are fully supported and guided to focus on the big picture. Assess your environment. Okay, so that's what this is telling us. Okay, affirmation for the card here is all of the changes in my life are positive and empowering. Every day I am transforming myself into a little more positive being. That's your message for the universe. Okay, so that is our full strawberry moon reading today. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave me a thumbs up, please. And I look forward to joining you next week on Friday for regular oil oracle card reading. Have a great weekend.